My page, please like and subscribe. There's a little notification bell down in the corner that will notify you as to when I'm going live. I'm gonna stream in portrait, that's just how that goes. It's easier for me. So I want to talk about, I had a really crazy weekend, and just so everybody knows, this is probably going to be a long vlog. Just gonna throw that out there. If I'm squinting a lot, it's because I'm light sensitive, and so I'm gonna try to get that out of there. Okay, so it has been crazy, and if you've been following my story, you know that I am here photographing a wedding of a very, very special person that I absolutely love. Hi, Megan. And it's been a roller coaster, up and down. And so I'm actually going to start at Thursday. And and I'm going to talk about it all. I'm going to talk about the ups and the downs and the challenges and all of it. Hi, Marie. Like I said, if I'm squinting, it's because it's a beautiful day out. I'm sitting in the shade, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And I get kind of squinty when it's like that. Hi, Wesker. Okay, so Thursday, we were really tired because hi Tatum, we have been rolling, trying to get everything ready, get the flowers ready, as you've seen beyond vlogs. So Thursday, we were really tired, and Sheila was sleeping in because she'd been working until like 3 in the morning and had very, very little sleep. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go get some coffee because we were out of coffee. And I'm like, and by the time she gets, up and ready, it'll be ready and it'll be great. And so I had Rowan with me, and I left Rowan's leash in the car. And so I just connected my purse strap to her and took her along, which it's like less than half a block. Thank you, Tatum. I appreciate that. I left it down today because I'm not even gonna lie. Like, there's a reason I'm in a sweatshirt and looking like this. Today is too much to even get dressed, okay? It's too much to do anything, like that today. I'm just like exhausted. But Thursday, I go and I take her, go into this little gas station, and you realize, like, I'm in a town of like 2,000 people. So there's like people that it's very strange. It's like certain families or people will have more rights than others. And I guess that's like everywhere, but it's a little more pronounced, I think, in smaller towns. Thank you, Wesker. Munich, awesome. I am in Westby, Wisconsin. So anyhow, we walk in, and this lady goes, no dogs. And I was like, she's serviced. It's not an issue. I just need to know if you have coffee. And she's like, she's not serviced because she's not wearing a vest that identifies her. And there is a thing that says no dogs. And I was like, okay, a vest does not make her a service dog, and you need to check the law because you're wrong. She yells at me, no dogs allowed. And I was like, are you effing kidding me? And she goes like this. She goes, that language. So you can bet that in my little manic stage of all of a sudden being happy and joyful to being accosted, feeling accosted and by this woman, I swore all the way out the door, made up swear word all the way back. I was furious. Wisconsin is not like Munich. Munich has more people. Wisconsin, it's more like dairy farms. Unless Munich has dairy farms. I've gone to Munich, I think, but it was at a club. I don't think I actually spent time there. I should have. So anyhow, get back and find out that this woman has not only been doing things like this to me, but she's been quite horrible to other people in the area, and it's been allowed to get away with because of her status. And I really have I don't care what people, like, status means zero to me. And so I was pretty angry. I posted all over social media. I let people know what had happened. And here is what happened with those posts. Here is the response that I got. And I'm going to start explaining why I feel the way I do about it. First, people saying, what's her status? I really don't know. Comes from a good family, second, third generation here, therefore they get special treatment. If they have money, it's more haves and haves not. So that's what status means. It's classism. And so, okay, yeah, Munich. There you go. I think that Wisconsin might be on Munich's level with the beer drinking. Okay, so anyhow, I come back and I get all over social media, and the thing that I hear from people is, well, it's so much easier if you just buy a vest. You can go get a card for her. And my thing is, you can register your peanut butter as a service dog. You can go and register your peanut butter on a service dog registry. So tell me why I'm going to pay for that service to make people comfortable with my disability and my dog. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. And here's the issue with that. I got a lot of people saying, well, it's not that expensive. You're a spoiled brat. You're this, you're that. It is a big deal. I was homeless at one point and had zero funds. Nothing. If it was an issue where she had to wear identifying vests or have me get a card, I would have been screwed. Absolutely. It is a wealth-based thing to have to make people comfortable when the law states something else. Like they're like, yeah, but the law, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it does matter. It matters. And then I got, yeah, but people have fake service dogs. Here's the issue with that. I should not be penalized for somebody else doing the wrong thing. It's not a thing. There's why there's laws that target fakers. And there are laws that say if you do wrong, this is a consequence. I don't have to pay the consequence for somebody else doing wrong. That's why we have a judicial system. Period. Because that way it doesn't work like that. And I was furious. I was absolutely furious. And my response, people were like, oh, you're picking the wrong battle. It's not that big of a deal. It is a big deal. And if it's a big deal to me, it's a big deal to somebody else out there. And when it comes down to having to buy, all right, guys, sorry, got disconnected. But when it comes to buying to make somebody else comfortable, I was telling my friend Liz, and I was like, here's the issue with how it makes me personally feel. There was a time in my life after my brain injury where I was struggling so bad with the effects. Frontal lobe injury just really, it threw me. It threw me so hard. My personality was all over the place. My moods were all over the place. I couldn't control anything. And I needed to go to a psychiatrist to get medicated. And I'm at the psychiatrist, and my ex-husband is with me. And we had tried some medications, and he's like, yeah, well, she's a little like this on this medication. She's a little like this, and she's a little headstrong, and she's a little this. And finally, I realized that I was being medicated to make him comfortable. Not for my own benefit, but to make him comfortable in where I was. And I swore to myself, I would never, ever, ever hurt myself or put myself in discomfort or do any of that thing for other people's sensibilities. I will be kind, but I'm not going to change who I am, nor am I going to fight a battle that I don't believe in, and I'm going to pick my own battles. And I just find it funny, again, how I got, well, you need to pick your battles. I did. This is my battle, and I will fight it. Like, obviously, if I'm fighting about it, I picked my battle. And this whole, calling people spoiled because they want people to follow the law, I found to be just asinine. And so I want to tell you, if you have a problem with service dog, dog, pony, pig, whatever in your establishment, here is your recourse. If that animal or if that owner is causing a disturbance, you have every right under the law to ask them to leave. Period. There is your recourse. The law provides for that. So you don't have to worry about fake service animals. You don't have to worry about any of it. All you have to worry about is what your recourse is in case there's a problem. But I don't think that we should be assigning problems where they're not. You know, that just, it blew my mind. So then I came back and I'm furious. Like, oh my gosh, like perseverating, rolling it over in my head. Like, I think and I hate to say my bipolar, but my mental illness, my particular mental illness, grabbed onto that and just spun it. Like, rah! And so I came back and, and the thing is other people were also very upset here about that. And I got to talking to my friend's mother, who is 70 years old and lives in a really harsh condition in a trailer with no air conditioning. Her sinks are backing up. She just had strokes, so it's hard to do anything. And I said, well, your landlord has to take care of that. She's like, oh no, if he does, he raises my rent. And I was like, you can do something about that. You can fuss. She's like, no, he owns all the property. I wouldn't be able to live here. And there was no recourse. And this is a thing that really bothered me, especially in these kind of towns, is where you do have one person that has the majority of property or has the majority. They can literally do anything they want because you can't fight back. It costs money to fight back. You will be evicted and homeless and then trying to fight back. That's the hardest thing. For the vulnerable and the impoverished to fight back against this means that they have to take time away and effort away and money away from themselves to fight it. And that's why it's so, so important for those of us that are able to speak out for other people's rights, to say something. Pick that battle. Pick it. Fix it. Because it's not okay. People should not be exploited. And everyone has a right to a safe and stable place with things that they need, like food and water and a good habitat. So, back to the rest of the weekend. So on Friday we started getting everything ready. We were getting the hall ready. It was absolutely wonderful. The night before, there had been some really severe storms, and I have to say there's a significant amount of crop damage, which is really horrifying. Voice is difficult to understand at the moment. Oh, thank you for telling me. Is it better now if I move it closer? Somebody let me know if you can hear better if I move it closer. Let me know. Tell me. So anyhow, I'm going to talk a little louder. So we were decorating the hall and everything was beautiful. And of course, Shira is just so stressed. And I have been taking pictures from everything, from the flowers getting ready, to us decorating, to Shira hanging out, to the rehearsal dinner, which the rehearsal dinner was amazing. We had pulled pork. It was just phenomenal. Okay, thank you very much. I think it was just that I was talking softly. And so then we were exhausted. And I learned, I have to say, okay, so I am a photographer, but I rarely photograph people unless it's in an, like an art way or somebody asks me to. Who's getting married? Shira got married yesterday to a wonderful man, and it's after all of the tragedy and really hardships that she's been through. It was just a really beautiful, amazing thing to see her so happy and blessed and just really be real. And I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of weddings, mainly because I've been married a couple times and maybe I'm just cynical. But it was amazing and it was beautiful. And I am just floored at some of the amazing shots I took. Like, I did okay, I did good. And she will be so thrilled with them. But it was definitely a workout. I want to tell anybody who is not a photographer, because obviously photographers know, but weddings are up, down, and I said next time if I do a wedding, I'm definitely, like, drywallers and tilers can get, like, these knee pads. So, I'm not. Oh, Tatum, I'm not married. I'm not getting married. That was Shira. I was just a photographer. So next time I am going to do that, I'm gonna get those like drywall or tile or knee pads, so that like if I'm on the concrete and kneeling down and stuff, I'm not getting my knees all scraped up and stuff because I did last night. But it was so worth it. It was so worth it, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. And to be able, because see, this is my gift to her. Um, Everybody had in this village, if you remember my last vlog, it takes a village. In this village who made this possible for her, my skill set was photography. And organizing and being a little aggressive when people needed to be where they needed to be. And I have no problem saying anything. So I'm known to just be like, hey, you need to be here, you need to do this, let's go, you know. Um, but it was wonderful to see. And at one point in the wedding, they brought the bride and groom out on the floor, and they said, and they had the whole place. They said, okay, all the bride's family, all the groom's family, everybody, all the friends, get up here. And the thing is family to us is friends too. Like this is my family. I've known them for 20 years, 20 plus years, 20 years about, yeah. And they looked around. It was beautiful, and they said, now look around. Look at how your family has grown. And it was just beautiful because it's an addition of a whole nother family. And it's beautiful and wonderful to share those moments with people. And even, I'm not even gonna, pull punches, even when there's conflict. To see people be like, get mad or be mad and then work it out and still laugh and still have a good time. To know that it's very real. People are real. The situation is real. At the end it kind of seems surreal, but there's a lot of work and sweat and tears and yelling and stomping of feet and almost falling off stuff, hanging out stuff. And it was worth it. And it was amazing. So today, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I worked out so hard. Like I did the stair stepper for hours. So my legs are really heavy. But I sat down with my other photographer that was shadowing, and we went through pictures today. And I can say I did good. So I just wanted to kind of tell you guys about that. It's been a course of up and downs and all arounds, but in the end, everything turned out beautifully, and couldn't have asked for better. It's just, I think that when people, and it's funny, it's not funny, but it's weird. It's definitely an education when I post something like on my Being Camp Mom page, and people can assume from one post or even two or three, depending on what resonates with them. To read a post where I'm angry and furious and literally picking a fight about it, I think that if somebody was to only read that, they get like this, they're like, oh, this is what this person is. And I think what I would love all of us to realize is that we're like beautiful diamonds or gemstones. We all have so many facets. And before just judging somebody on one thing that you see, get a clearer picture. Ask questions. It's a good way to be. Get in depth. Like I said about also outreach. Ask what they need. Get involved. Talk to somebody. Find out who they are. It doesn't do us a disservice to our world to get to know people. Don't let them take advantage of you, and have boundaries. But smile and get to know them. And it will be beautiful. And I'm definitely not going to say that that one person shaped my experience here because I've lived in Wisconsin before, but it is a definite difference between regions in the United States. And I don't think people in the United States even realize how significant different cultures are in just our country. There are so many and so many different ways of life and so many different types of subcultures and people and diversity and amazingness. And it's wonderful being a human being on this planet, and all the knowledge and all the beauty. So, anyway, are there any questions? Because I think I've yammered on long enough. There's a whole lot, like, I'm not even kidding, I'm so tired. So, if anybody has any questions, I would definitely, thank you, Tatum. I appreciate that. I just want to say it makes my day better too. I like coming and talking about things and sharing my viewpoints and learning from others and getting positive feedback. I think it's important for everyone to get that positivity and that knowledge and all of that. Elizabeth, what is the temperature where you are right now? Is it gorgeous? It is like 77, 78. It has been really crazy the last week, though. It's been like almost up in the 90s with like a real feel of almost 100. The humidity was so bad, like my glasses were fogging up. I'd walk out, but I did have 1.2 where Shira got her, like there was a couple times, I'm not gonna lie, like taking photographs that my glasses fogged up because I was crying. I was like, hopefully I can do this with my eyes closed. So yeah, it's actually gorgeous today. I think honestly those storms, like those heavy storms with the rain, came out and just made everything cooler. What is my favorite color? I do not have a favorite color. I like colors and I like the spectrum of colors, and I have a hard time with favorites in anything. I could much easier tell you what I don't like rather than pick out all of the things I do, because I like so much and I dislike very little. So, where I live, humidity is in the 90s. Yeah, it was in the 80s. Yeah, it was really crazy last week. Is it best tip to stay positive, remembering that things don't stay the same as difficult situations? Yes, Wesker, that is huge. Okay, and when I was homeless, it was a huge deal to remember that in all things, if there is one thing I can be sure of in this world, is that everything changes. Everything. It will change. I change. I will grow. I will become the human being that I'm trying to be. If we try to be better human beings, we're going to become better human beings. I think that here's the thing, I don't like false positivity. And I think that sometimes when we hear like platitudes can be uplifting, inspirational quotes can be uplifting. But I think it's dangerous when we use that to sugarcoat real issues. And I think it's okay to be realistic and have a realistic mindset when it comes to really addressing things. So, and some of the things I deal with are not positive. They're not. Does that mean that I can't find beauty? No. But it also means that I know it's, having people who are being exploited and vulnerable and living under bridges and sick and dying, that's not positive. It's not a positive environment. It's not a positive thing. But what is positive is that there's people helping to try and change it. What is positive is that, I think positive, when we think about positivity, it's not false positivity. It's saying, okay, what are the benefits that can help solve the negative? And it's turning it to the positive. It's not disregarding all of the realism or the realistic situations, but it's understanding that by looking for something else, we can find a positive situation. Okay, I'm back. Okay, do I miss Seattle at all? Yes. I love where I live. I do. I love where I live. I find it the most diverse, amazing place with such beauty. When am I going back home? I will be going back home on the 27th. Um, will I ever get a P.O. box? No, because I have my address posted. I'm not really concerned about, I guess I'm not really, I have enough real stuff to worry about rather than whether somebody can get in my building or not. I mean, it's not hard to find people. If you can have your address not listed anywhere, and I guarantee you someone can find you within 15 minutes if you use a phone. So I don't see the point in not listing it. Packages come there, and I live in a guarded or a secure building. So, and if people run into me on the streets in Seattle, I say hi. That's how that goes. So no, I don't have a P.O. box. I have an address, and I have things shipped to there. If you'd like my address, I can give it to you. Just message me. You can message me through YouTube or whatever, or even Facebook, Instagram. And I would definitely say join my Instagram because there's going to be some gorgeous shots coming up at the wedding. And there is, for those of you that want, there is also a PayPal link underneath my descriptions, and you can donate as well there. What German words can I speak? Very few. I did not learn, like, I'm so embarrassed by that. I am. I lived in another country and really did not take the time to learn the language. And that I find is really a disservice. I've had some lessons in German and some lessons in Russian and some in Spanish, and I can honestly say that I am not by any means fluent in any of them, or even probably beginner status. Thank you so much, Whisker. I appreciate that. I have been to Seattle a long time ago, and I had a great time. It is beautiful. Yes, you're right. Beautiful scenery. And Dungeness crab. I've actually never had Dungeness crab. This was honestly very interesting to me because I don't like even being out late. I usually, if I'm out somewhere, I'm going to a meeting. I am doing outreach. I'm getting out of the house to maybe take Rowan, but that's even, I'm usually working. And so to be able to have that and be able to go to the parks and see all that gorgeousness and have it around me just on a regular basis is really important to me. Let's see. I remember going to the waterfront and they steamed it for me and my hubby. It was great. Oh, that's awesome. That is so cool. I have to say there were so many beautiful experiences there, and it's just amazing. And I have to say I have so much love. The city I live in is compassionate and empathetic. And I'm not saying we don't have factions that we are not doing battle with to make sure that human rights are upheld and that environmental rights are upheld. It is always, for some reason, I don't know why, it's an uphill battle, but it is. And so, but in the majority, there's this amazingness. There is this artsy feel, and everywhere you go, if you just are having a rough time, walk a block. You will find poetry. You will find drawings. You will find sayings. You will find someone expressing themselves. And it's beautiful. It is so beautiful. And then there's the scenery, which in and of itself is phenomenal. Seattle is very expensive, like New York. It is very expensive, and we are really, and that's the thing. That's why I love my city, is because we understand that, and we are working very hard on affordable housing, and we are working, like, we know this, and so we are doing everything in our power to make those system changes so that we can have affordable housing. Like, that's the thing, is that's what I love about it too, is anytime there is like a problem like that, it's immediately people like, we're gonna solve this. This is gonna happen. We and I love it. There's always people coming to the forefront with solutions and wonderfulness. And my heart, it's amazing to live around people, and being able to easily find people that care. You don't really have to look real hard. I mean, maybe some people do, but that's who they choose to be around. But in all honesty, kindness is easy to find. I'm from New York, and I live in Tennessee. I could not afford to move back, even though I love New York. I sure miss Jones Beach. Okay. I think that is really harsh, and that's one of the reasons that we're working on affordable housing, is so that people can choose the areas that they live in, and so people can have opportunities, in these beautiful places, and help, others, and grow these beautiful societies and these beautiful cities and this beautiful world. Oh my gosh, this is a huge world, and it's gorgeous and amazing, and I hope someday to see as much of it as I can. And I am so grateful to having viewers from across the globe, to where I can see where they're from and research it and look and see all these different places. It's beautiful. So thank you. I love the ocean. That's why I enjoyed Seattle. Yeah, oh my gosh, our beaches are beautiful. Homelessness is so much more in the last 3 years. Yep, and guess what? It's going to keep rising. It is going to keep rising, and it's going to keep rising. It's going to keep rising, because we are going to have more and more extreme weather events, and they destroy housing. And affordability to rebuild, and the insurance it will take, and everything else. We have got to have a system where we save money, use it in a cost-effective and efficient manner to get people in housing immediately and safe and stable places. And where places are falling apart and the groundwater is contaminated and the living conditions are horrible, we need to get people out of there. I don't care how cost-effective they think it is for people to live in an environment that's killing them and their families. I'm on 3 weeks vacation in California in September starting. Any special place to visit? Okay, I was born in California. I've stayed there a while, but I can't really. I know that I'll tell you from what I remember, okay? Because there were very few places that I went. I remember a place called Half Moon Beach, which was absolutely amazing. And I thought San Jose was very beautiful. I would say that Northern California is gorgeous. And that's pretty much all I know about California. I really just don't know a whole lot about it. I do know that I have a viewer. Okay, I do know that I had a viewer called Dr. Nina, who lives in Los Angeles. And I know that she would probably, if you're going to be in the LA area, Dr. Nina, if you could just shoot some like places to visit that are awesome, that would be great. All right, bye Tatum. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it so much. Drive along the coast. Our government doesn't care about homeless people. They don't care about the planet either. I think the administration right now doesn't. I agree with you on that. And here's the problem. On both, until our leaders say human rights are infallible, environmental rights are infallible, what are we going to do? We literally have kids in cages that if you try to go and save children that are being abused, you'll lose your freedom or get shot. Like, it's a really hard scenario to deal with, to know that, just to know that as beautiful and kind and as hard as we're fighting for human rights, there are people that are hell bent on destroying it. And there is no excuse, none. No excuse for exploitation, no excuse for abuse. Yeah, there is no justification, period. I am a liberal who cares about our planet and homeless people. I always try to give living outside some money. Here's the thing. I don't know what I am. I don't know if I know I'm not right. I mean, okay, yeah, I know I'm not right wing, and I probably side to the left, I guess, of what people think. But I don't care. I don't care about the left. Don't care about the right. Don't care about the center. I care about what's right. That what is right in our world? What is the right thing to do in all situations? What is the best for our world? And I could care whether or not that solution comes from somebody who identifies here or identifies over there. Of course, I'm like anyone else who is like, oh, left or whatever. I've been called names. I've dealt with harassment. I've dealt with abuse. It's a thing, and there's some really awful people out there. But I'm independent. I make my own mind up, and I know very clearly what's right and wrong, and so I don't have to worry about what other people's opinions necessarily are on facts. And I think a lot of our leaders, whether they be way left or way right, they really don't give service to what is right. They give service to opinion, and that's something that has to change. Science is real. So, what is the best way to support homeless people? Yes, love this question. Best way to support any person, homeless, homed, vulnerable, non-vulnerable, whatever. Talk to them. Find out, what are you going through? What do you need? Be a supportive person. If you can't give anything, give information. Take 15 minutes out of your day to research in your area specifically what programs there are for food, water, and shelter, what the guidelines are, and where they're at in relation to wherever. And then when you carry that information with you and you know those things, you have life-saving information, and you can give that out like confetti. Spread knowledge like glitter. There are a lot of homeless people in Tennessee. Elizabeth, there are a lot of homeless people everywhere. I like the word displaced much more than homeless because it carries such a negative, I guess, connotation. Hi. It's okay. You're good. Okay. Are you taking Ro? Okay. Ro, go ahead. You can go with. You get to go for a ride. Sorry, but I had to take care of business. Ro likes her car rides. Hi, Kimberly. And the best way, people need support before they're homeless. Find out in your town who's struggling, who doesn't have family, who are the people that are going to fall through the cracks, who are the people that are barely getting by without assistance. We can help people before they go into homelessness too. We can help people and families so that their children don't undergo trauma and go into homelessness. You can support your community and people in an amazing way just by knowing what's out there. Because I run into that a lot, like, nobody's doing anything. And I'm like, have you looked to see if they are? Well, no. Okay, well, there's lots of people doing lots of stuff, and you can find them and you can support them. And that's important. Okay, so next. Okay, any other questions? Because if not, I am going to call it a wrap and get on with my day and have lots and lots and lots more coffee. So anything else? No, I appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for also inspiring me and even though, some days are rough, some days are not good days. And I think everybody has bad days and everybody has battles to fight. But I hope that, like me, throughout all of it, you receive a message of positivity and love at least once a day. Okay? You guys have a great day. I appreciate you all. Sending so much love out. I'll talk to you later. Bye.